pivot after this controversy.
Right.
Because what he understands is that controversy sells.
Mm-hmm.
He understands that his approach is intentional. He's like, I don't give a fuck. Because right now, everybody's talking about me.
Yeah.
So as long as people are talking about me, I can pivot that and gain from that situation. And what he's really trying to do, I believe that Kanye he has a great message. He's just a poor communicator. He has a great message.
I hear
If you really listen to what he's saying,
Yeah.
let's take away the context on how he's saying it.
Yeah.
That nigga's speaking some real shit.
Yeah.
But his approach is not the best, so it gives people enough ammo to devalue his words.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Also, it's also the topics that he's choosing to come on.
For sure.
You know what I mean? They're a little hypersensitive, you want to think, because he's talking about a certain class of Jews.
Yes.
He's not talking about just all the Jews in general. He's talking
Right.
about a certain class. And since he's not identifying just the class, he's identifying the whole race itself.
Yes.
People are using like the Holocaust and all that other
Yes.
shit. You know what I mean? They kind of like sensitize like the whole shit, like fuck it up. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes.
But I also feel that, because you answered already like two of my questions, I wanted to ask you: do you think his outburst is because something is going on with him, or is it because of like is it really mental health? Is he going through something because something happened with him in the last couple of weeks that he's like, nah, I want full ownership of my shit. These motherfuckers making fake Yeezys.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make sure. I think actually putting himself in this position gives him all the right to his content because they're giving it back now.
For sure.
So you think from this he's gonna be able to prosper?
I truly feel that everything that man does is intentional.
So it's all set up. So it's not just the mental health thing.
I just feel like that he understands the bigger picture, and how he gets to that bigger picture is subjective. But I do feel that everything that he's doing, there's a reason behind it.
Right.
I just feel like that. Like a lot of times, bro, you got to think about it. You got to be a little bit cuckoo to be great in this world.
Facts.
You have to, nigga. You can't think like the average person and expect great results. Let's be real.
Greatness within the madness. You know what I mean?
Let's be real. So I think with him, because he's such an out of the box thinker, he gets criticized and judged, and they classify him with this whole mental health thing. Do I believe that there's some challenges with his mental health? Of course, honestly, I do.
Yeah.
He lost his mother. There's a lot of things that he's overcame.
Right. He's dating a Kardashian.
You know what I'm saying?
Like he has kids with them.
Bro, but what he's trying to facilitate is a lot. So I do believe that there is some deficit with his mental health.
Yeah.
However, I think that he's genius enough to master that opportunity with his mental health.
Facts.
Think I'm crazy, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Think I'm crazy. Think I'm wild. But just know, I didn't become a billionaire for no reason.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean?
That's fact. There's like I just said, there's greatness within the madness. It's just people just look at the wrong parts of the conversation instead of looking at the whole in general.
Exactly.
Because I watched the interview.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was pretty decent. You know what I mean? It just obviously he had his views, but he wasn't like Hitler about it. He wasn't like, yo, let's fucking kill them all.
Right.
He was just talking about how we gotta basically work for ourselves. You know what I mean? These motherfuckers is taking charge and things are changing. With that. So nowadays people like we're getting into conversation about are getting in trouble for what they say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There was a girl that said that Cardi B had herpes, and she got sued $2 million from Cardi B herself, like defamation sue.
Yeah.
There's a sue on Alex Jones. Alex Jones said the kids that died in that Sandy Hook wasn't real. And now he's getting sued to the point where I think every income he gets is gonna be to the families.
Oh wow!
Like they're really coming down. Like they're really, not only are they censoring us because now we can't speak on certain subjects.
Yeah.
Because now we won't get like the algorithm puts us down.
Right.
It's like so they're doing whatever they can to kind of like shim out the voices. In some ways, you know what I mean. All of us don't deserve a voice in some ways.
For
you know what I mean? So like, I feel like this started as a good thing, but allowing us to keep going will continue to like slowly slowly just start limiting what we say and then we become China.
Yeah. For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So it's putting us in a crazy predicament. It's like these protesters. You seen these protesters and how they go and they start damaging art, trying to make their name. Like, that's what they're doing right now. Like, there's literally people that are throwing tomato sauce at fucking paintings, fucking destroying statues, trying to, like, fuck up the art for some reason. I don't know what... honestly, I didn't look into it. I should have done it.
Yeah.
But I just looked at them like, how is this... I think it was for climate change. for climate change. Let's destroy art because it's gonna help with climate change. Like, it's like, bro, what the fuck are you guys doing?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, that's like, it's really young kids. Like, it's these universities, bro. These universities with these fucking like thought process. They're like fucking damaging the youth, kind of.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? A weird fucking way, and it's crazy, man. Because on top of all that, now we gotta worry about fucking a nuke potentially coming now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How you feel about that? How you feel like about the war right now that's happening?
My thing is, bro, you know what I try to do?
Yeah.
I really try to just be so focused on the moment that I don't focus on the possibilities of what things can happen.
Because the future looking dim right now.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So it's like, I know this. Yeah. The only thing that I'm in control of that I can truly, truly maximize is this moment with you.
Right.
That's it. Nothing more, nothing less.
Right.
We can think about stuff. We can talk about stuff. But at the end of the day, bro, I'm like, I don't worry about things that are not already happening. Right. When it's here, I'll deal with it. Right? I'll deal with it when it's here.
That's the only time you can.
Right? I believe in preparation, but the truth is that most people just focus so much on the worry and the fear of things and what can go wrong that it just consumes their day-to-day. So it takes them away from their happiness. It takes them away from their moment. It steals everything because of them listening to a lot of this shit. And the real talk, nigga, most shit is propaganda, bro.
Right.
The higher ups understand that we don't operate Walt off of fear. So it's like, let me put these fear tactics so that people can get fucking compromised emotionally and people can make poor decisions. And then at the end of the day, who wins? The people above.
Exactly. And if you think about it, fear is driven by the media. So like, in order for them to get ratings, they're going to promote fear on
all
everything.
The time, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
All the time. So it's like, real talk. It's not that I'm trying to be oblivious to what's happening in the world.
Of course.
But I'm like, yo, you know what? If it's really not in front of me, how much does it matter?
Right. Well, you know, Ukraine said that they're gonna they petitioned. There's 15,000 people that have signed a petition saying they're gonna have an orgy before it happens. You know what I'm saying? So like, at the same time, it might be the worst and best place to be. You know what I'm saying?
Shit about to be lit. Like, yo, we making sure we duplicate before we gone.
Yo, because I'm about to take a trip. I need some Ukraine babies, yo. You know what I mean? Some Russian babies, yo. It's a crazy thing. But like you said, the world is going to happen the way it's going to happen, and there's nothing we can really do. Right. So it's best that we focus on the moment. You know what I'm saying? So since we're focusing on the moment, let's talk more about you, Jeremy, because no one knows we got Jeremy right here in the building. What's up, Jeremy? How you doing, brother?
God, what up?
How you doing, brother?
I'm on fire right now, bro.
Like what put you on this journey that you're on right now?
So I grew up right here in Holyoke, bro.
Okay.
I grew up right here in Holyoke in the flats and...
In the flats, in the flizzat.
In the
flizzat.
The fo-fo. So I grew up in the flats and I just really think like... We have this perception on loyalty, right? And I truly believe that there's a misconception on loyalty. We think that when we come from an environment that we have to truly be loyal to that environment. Right. When the facts is this, you have to be loyal to yourself and your environment will gain from that loyalty. So here's what I mean. I've lost dudes that grew up in the same environment as me because they're like, nah, fuck that. Like, this is where I'm from. This is where I'm staying. Because at the end of the day, they know that if they take that leap and they get out of that environment, they're going to be criticized for taking that leap. So I told myself, if I really love that environment, if I really love the niggas that I grew up with, I'm going to show them the possibilities of what's possible by having the balls to say, I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks about me.
Facts.
I'm going to go and travel the world. I'm going to go fight for my dreams. I'm going to go do what the fuck I want to do with my life. And I don't give a fuck what anybody has to say. Bro, it's like these hoods are like a fucking is an incarceration. It's a mental incarceration. And I'm like, yo, I give back to my hoods. I do what I gotta do, but you know how you're gonna really, really, really be loyal to your hood? Is by fighting for something that means something to you.
Giving them an example. Like,
come on, my nigga.
Exactly.
Come on, like people be like, oh, they call me a hypocrite, they call me fake, they call me a sellout, and I'm like, fuck you. You're the fucking fake ass nigga that decided to be loyal to motherfuckers that are not really loyal to you. They're loyal to the benefit of you.
Facts.
I just have the balls to say, I don't give a fuck what you think about me. I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna live my life the way I wanna live my life because the only thing that matters, nigga, is how I live my life.
Right.
Bro, so it's like, when I think about that shit, like when I think about like how people's minds are so small and corrupted, it's like what people really need is more self-esteem. Because when you have real self-esteem, my nigga, you really start thinking for yourself.
Facts.
I'm an independent thinker. I'm not thinking about how you want me to think.
Right.
I'm not thinking about what you're doing.
Yep.
I'm thinking about how I want to think and what I want to do. Because I'm going to make my decisions based on how the fuck I want to live my life.
Facts.
And it's like, for me, bro, like, I feel so passionate about this shit because I'm like, yo, you know what? I may not inspire the 20 niggas that I grew up with, but I may inspire that one nigga that was curious and is like, damn, this motherfucker's happy.
Right.
At the end of the day, this nigga is happy.
Right.
Like, he has to be doing something right if his energy's always that uplifting and positive.
Well, you know, it's always a thing, too. Like, when we grow up with niggas, they tend to see us in a different light because they seen us grow up. So
Exactly.
They see us hanging around and being in that satya, being fucking crazy. You know
Right.
So, like, they don't... When we're trying to take seriousness into our lives, there's going to be a group of niggas that are going to look at us and be like, what are you guys doing? Like, you look stupid. You look foolish.
For
And it's
sure.
not even the fact that we look foolish. It's just that it looks different to them because they're accustomed to being in that environment. Like you just said, they're dedicated.
Exactly, bro. Like,
Disgusting.
bro, I got like I always say, bro, like I'm so proud of where I come from, nigga. Like, and the dudes that I grew up
100%.
with, I have so much genuine love for them. And it's like sometimes you have to love somebody enough to disassociate from them.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, like I love you so much that I have to disassociate from you because I have to show you what's different from an objective lens. Now, if you decide to look at it differently, cool. If not, that's not my problem.
Because we can't change nobody.
You can't.
Yeah.
You can't, bro. You can't.
And
You
if
can't.
having that energy around you can also bring you down.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. So, like, you know, right now I did my book. I got a second book that I'm writing. I just got married recently, bro, and I'm just like, I've been working on myself for 12 years. Holat. I've been working on myself for 12 years, and it's like, I've dedicated myself. I've cried myself to sleep. I've wondered. I've attempted to kill myself throughout this whole 12 years, wondering when the fuck is the change going to happen?
Right.
Like, when is that change going to happen? And you know what I stopped doing? I stopped seeking that change, and I just decided to just be the motherfucking change.
Right.
Like, I'm no longer seeking for anything. I am that. I don't want anything. I have everything. Because when you have that mentality, like, if you have a mentality of needing this and a mentality of like you're constantly going after something,
Right.
like, at what point do you stop chasing? I'm no longer chasing. I'm being.
Because even if you complete the goal, you're still gonna want more.
That's
and
it.
More and more.
That's it.
That's facts.
Nigga, once I took real talk, once I took happiness off of a pedestal, once I took peace off of a pedestal, I'm like, oh shit, this whole thing that I've been chasing has already been living inside of me. I've been stopping myself because I believe that happiness is this and peace is this. No. Happiness is you fucking feeling good about yourself, your life, and your thoughts. Peace is just you not having thoughts that compromise your happiness.
Right. Social media compromises all our happiness.
What? Nigga?
You know what I mean? Because we only see the highlight moments of things. So since we're insecure, for example, if we're the people we're insecure looking at the videos of people living their lives, people traveling, and then so all that bitterness starts to build up just because of social media. And we're only seeing the happy moments. We didn't know how much this motherfucker had to sacrifice just to go on that trip. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So it's the world in general, bro. In general, we're going to a different path. And it's good to like separate yourself from the people that are gonna like bring low value to you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So my question is, from off this, is what sparked it? Like what was the time frame? What was the date that you were just like, I'm done with this. This is who I am.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So I was outside of my son's mother's house, getting ready to burn her down in her own home. I didn't know how to manage my thoughts. I didn't even know that you can change your thoughts. I thought that what you think is what you think.
Like you run right
like
into
that's
it.
it. So I was there, bro, and I'm like, damn, how selfish am I that I'm getting ready to kill my son's mother because I can't deal with my perception on her. She's not the problem. My perception of her is the problem. So my perception of her is going to create her to act a certain way consistent with my perception. Follow me?
No, 100%.
So at that point, like, I started looking up like YouTube videos, how to change this, how to change that. Once I uncovered that you can truly transform who you want to be, I'm like, oh shit, I became infatuated with it. So there's motivational speaking shit that I'm doing, this life coaching thing that I'm doing. I'm only doing it because I went through a process that I fell in love with, and I'm like, who else can I help during this?
Right.
Who else is not aware of this, bro? You know what I'm saying? And you know what I think? And you tell me what you think about this.
Okay.
We could have friends, girlfriends, boyfriends, families, whatever. But we all need somebody outside of our circle that genuinely cares about us and our well-being. And what price can you put on that? You can't put a price on that. A lot of suffering that most people do is because they don't have that rock solid person outside of their circle that they can genuinely count on, that can help them facilitate those poor thoughts,
Right.
those poor emotions, and really hold them accountable to their desired life.
Because sometimes you need an outside perspective, just like
Exactly.
because we rely so much on our inner circle thinking. You know, if you notice, a lot of things on social media are always posting about being alone or being away from people, or like there's always quotes being that's passed around through there because they want us to either be alone or focus on our immediate circle.
Yes.
So sometimes we need to go back, like just sit back, chill with some niggas that are just watching the circle. You know what I mean? Just
Exactly.
watching the things go on. Someone with a little bit more knowledge on top of that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because a real nigga, it don't need to be in the street. He could be a nigga that's familiar with the streets, understands people's emotions on things, how things go on, but is also able to like adapt, like take those little moments and be like, all right, this is what's wrong. See, this is what's going on.
Right.
So I could see where it would be easier for you to get some other feedback from someone else that is gonna give you something that is more structured.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. That's what I'm infatuated with, bro. Helping people overcome their limiting beliefs, helping people get clear on the path that they want. So you got to think about this, right? If you're not aware of what you want, that means that it's not living in your thought process. If something is not living in your thought process, that means that it's not living in your emotional state. If something is not living in your emotional state, that means that that's not a part of your vibration. If something is not a part of your vibration, that means that it's not even a part of your frequency. So how the fuck can you attract if you don't even know what the fuck you want to attract?
Right.
That's the biggest problem.
Right.
Bro, most people say, I want to be happy, I want money, I want this, I want this. No, let's shut off the noise, let's shut off social media. What do you really want?
Right.
What do you really want? And then focus wholeheartedly on that. The reason why it's so easy for people to be distracted is because they're unaware of what they actually want.
And that is 100% because people just glorify the materialistic things.
Exactly, bro.
The outcome. They glorify the outcome. Oh man, I want to just live in a nice house with my family and with a nice car. Like, and it's like there's just the outcome. There's no journey.
Yes.
They're not appreciating the journey. And
sure.
And it's true. A lot of people don't understand what they want in the sense of like what they're trying to give back to the world, like to be part of the world. Like, are you gonna just be this person that, let's just say, sells drugs and just continues to fucking be like that into the environment, or are you gonna take that money and elevate yourself?
For sure.
Because what happens is we get used to comfortability.
That's it.
So when things are comfortable, we like it. We like spoiled little brats sometimes.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
We like
for
comfortableness.
For sure.
If things become uncomfortable, like investing into a business, hoping that somebody comes and buys your material, that starts to give us discouragement. That leads us to be like, we're not even gonna do that. I'd rather just stay in this comfortable line and just keep it in the streets.
Absolutely.
So that's a mess, man, sometimes. So my thing is, right, so from this conversation, what made you, because you started doing, what made you, on top of that, right, on top of you going and becoming a motivational speaker, you know what I'm saying? Because that had to, just that alone, you have to go in front of people and speak, you know what I mean? Just off rip, like doing this is pretty easy, I can say. You know what I mean? Because me and you are just here. We're just in this. We're in our little bubble. The cameras are there, but there's no one there.
For sure.
Probably 15 people watching.
Why that?
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? But I've seen some of your pictures, some of your videos, and they be fucking packed.
Yeah.
How do you build up the courage to be like, I'm gonna speak my truth right here, like, and then have everything just organized? Like, do you write things down, or you just have it like it just come up passionately?
So that's a beautiful question. So once I realized that I'm only sharing something that I believe in, it went from a performance to a conversation. I'm not trying to impress you.
Right.
I genuinely don't give a fuck what you think about me. All I want to do is share something that's in my heart, because this right here has helped me. So now I look at it like, instead of looking at public speaking like this performance that I have to be perfect and I can't mess up, now I'm looking at it like, even though there's 1,000 people in a room, I'm talking to one while 999 are listening.
Facts.
And then I'm talking to this next one, and then the other 999 are listening. So what people get a lot about my seminars is that they feel like, man, this guy's talking to me.
Right.
You know what I mean? The way I've built myself up in as far as business goes is, I really develop my self-esteem.
Yeah.
So it's like, bro, I used to struggle with insecurities. I was that person that always needed instant gratification. I needed like to get approval by my peers. And I told myself, like, what's missing, Jeremy? Like, what's missing from you? And what was missing is that I was never taught how to develop a relationship with myself.
Right.
So I changed the way I thought about myself. I changed the way I spoke to myself. I changed the way I treated myself. And then as I started to feel better about myself, I just became more like, I just started to feel myself on a different level. So now I have this certainty and this conviction, but this stems from the way I've been treating myself for the past decade.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And it's crazy because, like, just to touch on the fact that nobody taught you this, right?
Right.
It's more like when we're growing up, our parents mostly focused on financial backing.
That's
just
it.
making sure there's clothes on the back, food on the table, and just like if anything else in particular, maybe you want to go on a field trip or
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Right.
So like they weren't really thinking about our emotional standpoint on things, on like how we're gonna deal with conversation, how we're gonna deal with other meeting girls and shit. Because in my life, I'm pretending to mine,
Yeah.
my dad will influence me to be on bitches a lot.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, go fuck bitches, go get bitches,
Right.
go make me a kid, make me, you know what I mean? That was his mindset.
For sure.
So like I'm only getting what he's giving me in a sense. So I had to run at least like 12 years of my life just running for bitches, running for like that mindset that they gave to me, selling drugs, you know what I mean? If that's the case, you know what I'm saying? So like it's crazy how you were able to find some type of light.
Yes.
That was able to give you like hold up, man, you need to change, bro.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we're prideful people. Shoot, men are prideful.
Super.
So to tell someone else to change, it's like the nigga has to like see the insecurity and realize it.
Exactly.
And be like, okay, you know what? I'm willing to fucking change.
Yes.
And that's beautiful, bro.
Bro, so
That's beautiful.
where a lot of times we avoid the mirror, right? And I'm like, the mirror is actually your best friend. Because all you have to do is just look and not judge. The problem why we don't like looking at the mirror is because we become our biggest critic and we're judging ourselves. And then instead of us feeling inspired, we feel ashamed and guilty. Motherfucker, you're doing the best that you can based on what you know and understand.
Right.
You can't judge yourself for that.
Right.
Nobody intentionally does their worst. Everybody does their best based on their understanding. So I'm like, once I started to look at yo, you know what? The real talk, nigga, I got tired of suffering, dog.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, like this suffering, this can't be for life.
Yeah.
That's why I always wanted to kill myself because I'm like, there's no way that I'm gonna be living in this life just suffering and nigga. All my life I struggle with depression and anxiety.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like this can't be life. And I'm like, what has to happen? Let's start looking at this shit.
Right.
Nigga, this is what I'm teaching now that I'm infatuated with, bro. Our emotions are a habit. So it's like, once you realize that you're always gonna revert back to your default emotion, it's like, oh, wait a minute. I just have to change the habits that I've been practicing. So if I know my habits before used to be negativity, anxiety, depression, and suicide, right?
Yep.
So I'm like, okay, what emotions do I want to be normal for me? Peace, happiness, and gratitude. Because if I could be at peace, if I can be happy, if I could be grateful, that means that I'm in a high vibration. So I'm like, what's gonna be hard is to change the whole process of getting to that default. But I made sure that I made it a law. Nobody's gonna steal my joy. Nobody's gonna steal my gratitude. And nobody's gonna steal my peace. And I don't give a fuck who you are.
Tell them.
Bro, you wanna know something crazy that happened to me?
Tell me.
I was on my honeymoon.
Yeah.
And my fucking mother landed in the hospital the first night of my cruise on my honeymoon. And my wife was like, damn, what we're gonna do? We're in the ocean. What are we gonna do? And I told her, one thing that I know I'm not going to do is I'm not going to suffer.
Right.
Because what can I possibly do right now? Right? So check this out. This shit is mad deep, nigga, for anybody that's listening. Because my default is happiness, gratitude, and peace. I had a situation that was gonna challenge those three things.
Yeah.
I made a decision. No, I love my mother more than anything on this planet, but this is my time with my wife. I'm not a doctor, and there's nothing that I can do about her situation. There's nothing that I can do.
Facts.
Do I wish I can? Yes. I went into the shower, I cried, I yelled, I went through a 5-minute process, but I only allow myself 5 minutes to suffer. After that, wake the fuck up, nigga. Because if I don't wake the fuck up after those 5 minutes, I'm gonna permit myself to turn that little suffering into a habit. I'm in my fucking honeymoon and I'm like, there's no way that I'm going to allow anything to steal this. When I go back home, I'll deal with that storm then. Why is that important? Because shit happens to people and people marinate in those emotions because that bullshit that happened just justifies who the fuck they are.
Right.
People are angry. Motherfucker, this person just showed who you really are. People are bitter. This situation just exposed who you really are. People are envious. This situation just exposed who you really are.
Facts.
That's it. So then what happens is that, okay, that's circumstantial, so I can justify a reason to be this because this just happened. No, this is just exposing who you really are. So for me, I know who I really am. I'm a happy person. I'm a grateful person, and I'm a peaceful person.
Yeah.
And nothing on this planet can take that away. If I'm gonna suffer, it's gonna be momentarily, and then I gotta go back on the track because this is what I understood, my nigga. Think about the people that we're gonna lose. Think about the amount of suffering that's already lined up for us. I already know that it's a guarantee that I'm gonna suffer on this planet. I already know because I'm gonna lose people that I love. So I have to be mentally disciplined to eliminate the amount of time that I suffer for because there's niggas right now that are addicted to something because they lost somebody years ago. There's people right now that are fucking heartbroken still because of the person that they lost 5 years ago. It just carries on. So I'm like, let's think about it. Let's be real. What's guaranteed for everybody is that we're all gonna die.
Facts.
So I told myself, I'm gonna suffer 5 minutes every time something happens because I know that I'm gonna lose these people and I'm gonna go through this and I'm gonna go through that. But if I know that I'm gonna die, nigga, I'm not suffering until those last moments before I take my last breath.
Yeah.
That's my mentality. I'm not at 100% on that, but that's my mentality. So what that allows is that it allows me to suffer less. I no longer give myself permission to suffer. Fuck that. I'm not justifying my suffering. I've accepted what's gonna happen. What's gonna happen is that we're gonna lose people. We may be heartbroken. We may go through challenges. We're gonna take L's. I've already accepted that. Most people don't accept the shit. That's why it's hard for them when something happens to them, bro. And I'm talking about like losing somebody, bro. I've lost so many people in this last year alone that I'm like, what the fuck? If my shield wasn't solid, I would probably be in that corner, fucking struggling, coping for some fucking drugs to do with my thoughts and emotions.
Right.
I get it. Like, I get it. So what I'm trying to say is, you have more power than you give yourself credit for.
Facts.
But you have to strengthen your shield.
And that's the thing, like with emotions, that's something that you have to train on.
Exactly,
so like, to give
bro.
people a perspective, right? Imagine being a fighter and you're training on this particular fighting style. Once you get exhausted in the ring, like where you're gonna revert back to your freaking old way of fighting.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that's why you see like the greats continue to fight the way they are for 1 round to 10th round because the discipline, because they took the time to learn how to handle them. Because once we realize that our emotions are a problem,
That's it.
Because we're quick, especially living in America where everything is like a silver spoon, basically.
Yes.
Being homeless in America is not the same as being homeless in fucking Iraq or being homeless in a desert, you know what I mean, in a jungle, you know what I mean?
For sure.
We have a fucking silver spoon handed to us no matter where we're at.
For sure.
In America, you know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? And we're used to being so fucking like, so quick to react on things. Especially growing up, I've witnessed, you know what I mean, my parents and just off their reaction, you know what I mean? Because we're subconscious thinkers as a
Exactly.
kid. So we're
Exactly.
looking at things like, not because they're teaching us, because we're seeing them. So now she reacts to this, slaps him. So my reaction when I go to the streets is, if this nigga pisses me off, I'm gonna slap him.
Exactly.
Or if this shit happens, I'm gonna fucking smoke my fucking blunts away, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And it's damaging to us because in a sense of like, we're resulting back to an emotion that is toxic.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Instead of uplifting ourselves. So I can see where you're coming from with that because that's all I can tell you. My way, that's all my fight is trying to handle myself because
Yes.
I was put in a situation where I wasn't supposed to grow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My mom was like, we're gonna give this kid SSI and you can live off that for the rest of your years. Not because she was a bad mom, because
Right.
she felt that if I was getting money, I would be great.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Not realizing that I'm depending on a government check.
Right.
So when I was 18, I found out, because niggas don't know about that shit until you
course,
get
of
older.
course, of
You know what I mean? And you're like, oh, I can't get a job? Oh, fuck, nigga. So I tell my mom, cut that shit off.
Yep.
Because why? Because I'm not relying on that.
Right.
I'm relying on everybody in the hood. Why you doing that, Z? You can flip it, la 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 la. You're fucking dumb. But it's like, no, nigga, because I'm not relying. I'm just some motherfucker that just every month give me $600. Okay, maybe if it was 6,000, maybe it was.
It has to make sense.
You know what I mean? I'm a little retarded for $6,000. You know what I mean? But like 600, nigga, I make more than that in a week, nigga. Now, you know what I mean?
Right, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So like, that's what I'm saying. So where I'm from, that's where I was. You know what I mean? That's where we were. That's what they were giving us. There's like the streets or live off the government. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So imagine that these are the same people that are not teaching me about my emotions. They're not teaching me how to react to things. You know what I mean? My dad would be a real nigga once in a while. Break it down, be like, hey, you know what I mean? If you fucking, you know what I mean? If you get mad, don't get mad. But then I see him break a wall. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I try to instill that type of what you just said to my daughter, because I understand now that I can't change the past.
Right.
And some of us still live in there.
Exactly.
Like traumatically, like not even, and like I said, subconsciously.
Yes.
So like some of us, like the way we react, the way we think, the way we move, we're still living with like a chip on our shoulders.
Yes.
And that's what I can say from what you said to me. That's what I gravitated to, because I can remember the time where I felt like that, where I felt like everybody owed me something.
Yes.
Or like, nigga, what the fuck, nigga? Why is my life like this? Not knowing that struggle brings growth.
Of course.
And struggle brings character.
Yes.
With that, we're able to build ourselves.
Beautiful.
And it's crazy, man. It's crazy. And you have to go through hell for that.
For
you have to go through a little bit of hell. Just a little bit. You know what I mean?
That's, man, like, listen, I'm so grateful for the suffering that I went through.
Yeah.
Because what it does is that, like you said, it builds character. And it's like a lot of times when people deal with some type of adversity and they're not used to dealing with adversity, the world crumbles, because it's like, damn, what do I do now? When you grow up in a hood environment, when you grow up in a ghetto environment, it's like, bro, struggle becomes so normal that you just become accustomed to it. Now is, how can I take the emotional shield that I learned from that, but then change the behavior?
Yeah.
That's really the main thing, bro. Like once you realize from that 0 to 7 years old, we're literally just a sponge. Yeah. We're observing, and then that creates a program. That program is installed in the subconscious mind, and then we're literally just robots. I got tired of operating as a robot. You know what I'm saying? And you know what's one of the hardest things that I had to do was study my mom and study my dad and see, what do I have from them? What do I love that I have from them, and what do I despise that I have from them? And once you become that aware and you become that calculated, now what happens is like, okay, you know what? I understand that this comes from this, and I understand that this comes from this. So rather than justifying the behavior, it allows me to not bang myself on the head, because this behavior that I'm exemplifying, I'm learning it.
Exactly.
I have learned it. Okay, you know what? The same way I've learned this behavior, now I have to do something differently. So I look at my mom and my dad, like, I'm so grateful for them, bro, because they taught me everything that I didn't want to become.
Right.
If I didn't have that reference, then maybe I would have been the one that would have been fucked up.
And that's facts. What you're saying that is 100%.
Yeah.
Because most of our parents come from the hood, you know what I mean? And they're probably living. They're just a replica of what they went through.
Exactly.
So we're just getting the short end of the stick just because they don't know anything else.
That's it, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
That's crazy, bro. Fucking. What made you put it all in the book though?
So people really been asking me about when am I gonna write a book.
Okay.
And I've always wanted to, like, for me, writing a book was so unrealistic, because I'm like, I grew up in an environment where there was nobody that was writing a book. Right. You know what I mean? And for me, I just said to myself, I'm like, there's so much that I want to share that I can't just share it through social media posts. Because I'm the type of person that I don't like to motivate. You know what I mean? Motivation is debate. What I like to do is I like to teach people. Yeah. So I'm like, with this book, I'm able to teach people what I actually did step by step, how I modified my belief system, how I really changed my subconscious mind. What did I actually do to become a better me? You know what I mean? And
that's why it's the title, right?
It's a better you, yeah. Because the thing is that, like, we can all become a better us,
yes,
right? And what I love to help people understand is that my better me, your better you, and her better her is all subjective. What matters is that you're becoming better in what you consider better. She's becoming better in what she considers better, and I'm becoming better in what I consider better. The problem that we're living in this world with this whole social media thing is that our better is compared to somebody else's good. And when you stop comparing your life and you genuinely just start focusing on you, you don't feel that unnecessary pressure.
Right.
I don't believe in pressure because at the end of the day, if I'm looking at you, it's for two reasons. It's to help you or be inspired by you.
Facts. Preach.
I'm not going to compare myself to you because at the end of the day, I don't know what you've gone through and what was it that you did so that you can get to where you got to.
Right.
If I see your results and I like your results, let me invest more in this human because where he's at is where I ultimately want to get to some degree.
Okay.
So the problem is that when you grow up in an environment, right, that the minds are small, you look at somebody's growth with negative lens. So rather than you being inspired, you get bothered, and that bother.
He thinks he's better than me.
Yes, like, that's most people's perception. This person thinks they're better than me. Why? What conversation did you have with that person that allowed you to come into that conclusion?
Right.
What did that person really do? Like, let's be real. Let's face the music. What did that person really do that makes you believe that he thinks that he's better than you?
Right.
If you believe that somebody's way of being is him demonstrating that he's better than you, that means that you're looking at that situation with negative lens. That means that your mind and your heart is corrupted. It's not the person's problem.
Facts.
The person's growth is exposing who you actually are at the core.
Facts. It's the insecurity in their failures. So if they see someone that's talking about like leveling up and becoming different and doing different things. Oh man, I went to this there, I went here. I'm doing this now. I'm doing this. People start feeling like, nigga, damn, nigga, you don't have to talk about you all day.
Yes.
Because they don't understand that you're passionate about what you're doing.
Exactly.
So like if I want to show you 1 million of my songs or 1 million of my episodes because nigga, we just did a bunch of shit.
Exactly.
And I want to show you what I'm doing. I didn't think it was gonna rub you off the wrong way, but we're not knowing that some people feel insecure about their own failures.
Exactly.
That fucking hurts, bro.
It does, man. It does, and it's like we have to really change that narrative because you can't feel insecure about your failures, but yeah, keep doing the same shit that got you failing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like people want to get these results, but it's like, what are you doing to get those results? And you know what's something that I find interesting, bro? This is something that I find so deep. A lot of dudes and girls that grew up in a urban environment, they had the courage to punch another person, to slap another person, to stab another person, to even shoot another person. But they don't have the courage to fight for their dream.
That's facts.
So you're telling me that you're willing to fuck this nigga up.
Yeah.
You're telling me that you're willing to shoot at this motherfucker for doing X, Y, Z to you, right?
Yeah.
But you're not willing to not give a fuck what people think about you and you actually fight for your dream. That's why I say there's an emotional deficiency. Because if you can protect yourself physically, but you don't have that same shield emotionally, that means that you're still very immature and underdeveloped. Let's grow that part of you, because if you have the courage to fight for something meaningful.
Facts.
People fight for respect. But to be real with you, like since for these last 3 months, I've been challenged, my nigga. Me being real. I've been challenged to the point that I was watching Netflix yesterday with my wife.
Yeah.
We were just chilling, watching Netflix, and I was just mentally marinating like on this conversation. I was really looking forward to this. And I got very quiet. Like we were being playful and I got very quiet. She's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, I went into my thoughts. And you know what I was thinking about? How many dudes, if I was to go off of my emotion, I would physically want to go into a yard, into a cage, and say, yo, let's see who walks out of there alive.
Right.
Because I just can't believe the way some people operate. That's me thinking emotionally. Logically, I'm like, motherfucker, you have this awareness. What you gonna do, hurt somebody that's already hurt? No. You continue to love on those people. And to have the discipline to love on people from a distance, because I'm talking about mental and emotional. Yeah. I have to love on these people from a mental and emotional because when I think about their behavior, it makes me want to physically destroy them. It makes me want to physically destroy them. And I'm like, no, because most people act off of those emotions.
Right.
I'm going to act off my logic and understand that this person is in need of something. You hurting them is not going to prove anything, but you're actually one of them.
Right.
Bro, but I had that battle last night, nigga. Like, I got quiet and I'm like, in my head, I was choking somebody out. I was choking 3 people out. Like, I'm talking about, like, choking them out where they're purple.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, you motherfucker. You talk about loyalty? Nigga, I gave you my heart and I gave you me when you most needed me.
Right.
When you needed to be fed, I was there fucking willing to feed you. I realized that this relationship was just off of a fucking need. Most people make relationships off of themselves. I make my relationships based on what I can provide in that relationship, not what I can gain from that relationship. So when I see people be that selfish, when I see people that actually disassociate from me when there's no longer a need, when I see people that are happy and they actually show the true colors, when I see people that actually don't need me anymore and they see and they act how they act towards me, I'm like, damn. So now, bro, now I tell myself, the person that will get the most time from me is myself. The second person is my wife. The third people are my kids. And then after that, I look at every human being with a sniper lens.
Yep.
Motherfucker, do you really deserve my time? I have to start looking at your character and I have to start studying you because I know eventually you're going to show me who you are. Rather than me have to wait for that, I'm going to study you. Before I give you my time, I'm going to study you because I just lost a brother. I just lost somebody that was working on my team. I just lost certain people and I'm like, oh shit. Motherfucker, when are you going to start seeing people for who they are, not who you want them to be?
Right.
I know this nigga got potential.
That hurts, man.
I know this nigga got potential,
hurts.
so I'm like, yo, I'm gonna give this nigga my heart. Now realizing that some people never live up to that potential. That's not your problem.
That's not.
And bro, like right now, it destroys me.
Yeah.
Because when I see these people,
Yeah.
this is gonna be the conversation. And I'm telling you as a man, this is gonna be the conversation. So I just wanna let you know this. I don't have a problem with you. I don't have no beef with you. The only thing that I wanna let you know is that you no longer live in my world.
Yeah.
No disrespect. I don't want no problems with you. I don't want to fight you. I don't want nothing. I just want you to know that when you see me anywhere in public, just act like I don't exist because you no longer exist in my world.
Right.
Because I will give you my heart, my nigga. Anybody that knows me, anybody that's my nigga, they know that I will give you my heart. I will give you anything and everything to make sure that you're good. Once you lose that, there's no recuperating that.
That's facts.
This is not a situation where it's like, it takes me a while for me to be like, yo, you're cut forever. Once you're cut forever, I don't give a fuck what you go through, what you overcome, what you learn. No, you, my friend, have earned your way out of my life.
Yeah.
And I could look at you after calling you my brother, walk right by you, act like you don't exist.
Facts.
Because guess what? What I told you from the beginning, nothing will compromise my peace, my happiness, and my gratitude. And most people don't have that type of discipline. You know how many niggas will dap a nigga up knowing that nigga criticized them?
Yeah.
You know how many? And I used to think, oh, you be the bigger person, bro. Give that. No disrespect. I don't got beef with you. Say whatever you want about me. You just don't exist in my fucking world, my
Facts.
nigga. That's
Facts. The thing is, bro, it's just like this, bro. Like, I can say this from what I'm feeling. It's harder for me to like this is where I live now.
For sure.
This is my bubble.
Yeah.
Right? It's harder for me to be cool with somebody if I know there's a two-face in them.
Of course.
Like if I know cause the same way as you, bro. I love niggas. I love my niggas.
For sure.
That sounds
for sure.
mad gay, right? I love niggas. I love my niggas. No, but like in the sense of like I grew up with them. I want to see them do great. I don't want to be the only one that's just trying to reach for greatness. Let's
Yes.
all reach for greatness.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But it's that there comes a time where you believe in niggas, but they don't believe in themselves. So then you're there trying to bring them up, and everything that you're doing is kind of like irking them now. Kind of like nigga, well, stop, bro. Like, stop what, nigga? You're living like this. Let's live
Exactly.
like this.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Why did it sound wrong coming out of me? Because it's me.
Right.
Nigga, I'm telling you that what we're going through right now ain't what it is. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Especially like, for example, like if you have, for example, music, right? I have a certain level where I understand a certain level of things. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So if I see you coming up, if you started today, I'd be like, bro, listen, I know a bunch of things that you can do that won't fuck you up like they did to me.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I grew up fucking up first.
For sure.
Before I learned.
For sure.
And niggas, you will give them a fucking yellow brick road to happiness, like to success. Because I'm not saying we're gonna be the biggest artist in the world.
Right.
But if you follow what I'm telling you, that it's gonna get closer.
For sure.
It's gonna get
For
closer
sure.
because I know a couple things that can help, especially when it's just niggas scared to put money down sometimes, you know. And I understand.
Yeah.
But it's like, nigga, just know that when the only way we can get through this is if we listen and you take what I'm saying. I'm not if I'm not saying something right, challenge it.
That's
because
it.
Because I'm not stuck to my ideas.
Yes.
If you're gonna teach me something, best believe I'm gonna listen like a sponge.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And like that's what's crazy about things, you know what I mean? That's what's crazy about having friends and trying to keep them in the same environment as everything. I have this studio,
Right.
you know what I mean? But I can't allow everybody in.
For sure.
Because I know, like you said, nothing's gonna compromise my peace and my happiness as well.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I'm not gonna go home and be like, why is this nigga in his feelings? I just gave him 2 hours of love.
Yes.
And I'm not blind, bro. It sucks. I
Yes.
wish I was.
Let's talk about it.
I wish I was naive.
Let's
because
talk about it.
because if I could sit in a room with niggas, I wouldn't even care. But nigga, I've been programmed to now look at everybody's emotions, everybody's standpoint, the way they move their fucking hands. You know, I'm doing podcasts now, so now you're gonna see it even more.
For sure.
You know what I'm
For
saying?
sure.
So like when I'm chilling with niggas, it's like I see that you guys are upset with me telling you something, or when you're wrong. Because when I'm wrong, I listen.
Exactly.
But when you're wrong, you're trying to defend your point to the max.
Yes.
And therefore exposing a little bit of like your what, bro? You don't like it because it's coming from me?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure. For
Like,
sure.
How you feel about that?
So, bro, like I'm on. First of all, I want to say this.
Yeah.
Before we even continue, like I love how you express yourself.
Yeah.
I love your usage and vocabulary, bro. Like I love your energy.
I'm
So
a little retarded, though.
I
little bit.
wanna let you know that, like for real, it's like it's really an honor to be here with
Stop
you.
it. Blush.
I'm gonna keep it very simple, right?
Talk to me.
We can have people around us that are taking from us, or we can have people around us that are bringing something to the table. So most people take without realizing that they're taking.
Right.
And it could just be taking your love and taking it for granted. It could be taking your time and taking it for granted. It can be taking your peace. It could be taking your happiness. It could be taking your money, whatever the case may be. So now the way I operate, right? Because right now I have like the group of friends that I have, I couldn't be any more grateful for because I've been intentional about it. My problem used to be is that because I've always wanted to feel needed, I allowed people to leech off of me. So that was my problem, not theirs. Once I realized that I no longer have to feel needed because I feel good about myself, now I'm looking at every relationship like, is this a mutual gain? And I have to be real with myself. Am I bringing enough to the table so that this person has an incentive to be my friend?
Asset and liability.
Right? So I look at every one of my friends, and all my friends are very differently, but they all possess something that brings something to my table, and I possess something that brings something to their table. So now when we interact, the vibe is on fire, the love in the conversation is retarded because there's an understanding on what's being brought to the table. I don't believe in having expectations. I believe in teaching expectations. This is what I require from a friendship. And I'm going to teach you how to be my friend.
Yeah.
Once I teach you and you no longer meet that teaching, now I can disassociate from that relationship without feeling bad because I was willing to teach you. Most people leave a situation without teaching the person or being willing to teach the person how do you want that friend to actually operate in that relationship.
Right.
So before I judge, before I criticize, before I cut you off, I'm gonna teach you how I want to, what kind of friend I want. I'm gonna explain to you what kind of friend I am, and then we're gonna have that relationship. And then one thing that I learned, bro, is that we take it too personal when we disassociate from people. Some people just came for a chapter. Some people may come for the entire book. Some people may come for a season. Some people will go to your life based on where you are at that moment.
Right.
So now when everybody that I'm no longer affiliated with, there's no grudge, there's no animosity because the job was already met. If we discontinued our relationship, there's a reason why we discontinued it. Some people just come into your life to teach you that you still have to work on you.
Right. Facts.
Some people come into your life to teach you that you still got to work on your patience. Some people come into your life to teach you that you still got to work on your money management skills. Some people come into your life just to teach you that you have to learn how to say no. So it's like, let me look at the lesson.
Right.
Let me take the lesson out so that situation is not in vain. and let me just keep it moving. Because it's as long, yo, check this out, bro. As long as I'm in the right vibration, I'm throwing out the right frequency, I'm gonna attract the right fucking people.
Or either attract or even change some of the people around you.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. So it's like, bro, I had a conversation with my best friend yesterday. It was a fire conversation. You know what I mean? And I'm telling him, this is what I'm telling him. I'm like, yo, I just want to let you know this, bro. I take our friendship serious. I love you with all of my heart. I want to better you. I want to be here for you. I want you to know that all of our conversations don't have to be formal. If you want to call me on a FaceTime because you're going through a tough thought, I want to open up that door for you. Bro, and we had such a fire conversation that I was almost in tears. And it's because we were talking about shit with substance.
Right.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And you know what I told him? This shit is actually mad deep, nigga. Woo! You know what I told him? I said, you know what your problem is that you're so used to protecting your manhood because of your insecurities that you're not in touch with your feminine side.
Right.
He was like, what do you mean by my feminine side? My nigga, you have to nurture yourself hygiene-wise. You have to nurture yourself emotional-wise. You have to nurture yourself physically. What are you doing for yourself to build your self-esteem? Of course you don't have certainty right now. You're not doing nothing for yourself. You want to be the Superman to fucking everybody's life, but what are you doing for yourself in your life? So he's like how do you do it? I said, I treat myself as I would want my wife to treat me. I take myself on dates. I fucking pamper myself. I make sure that I'm talking to myself in a beautiful way, speaking beautiful words to myself. Nigga, I'm a real nigga. I don't gotta prove to somebody that I'm a real nigga by being all hard.
Yeah, facts.
The hardest one is the one that had the softest shield.
Yeah.
Because they're broken. So the way I treat myself is in such a fucking crazy way that you feel when I walk anywhere, nigga, you feel that.
Right.
Why do you feel that? Because the way I treat myself behind closed doors is on another level.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So I went on a tangent, but it's like I just like I love conversations like this.
I go off
yo.
everything.
You know what I'm saying? Like conversations like this, like that make you feel like that's why like I was watching some of your podcasts and shit like that, and I'm like, you possess an energy that I love.
Yeah.
And what you have is this uniqueness about you, bro. You're you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And even ever since I've seen you before, I'm like, you're you. It's just a matter of how can we take all of that energy and kind of like start putting it on a path.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You had that energy just everywhere. But it's like,
right. That's facts.
you know what I'm saying? Now that you have the path where you're on,
yeah.
It's like, bro, there's no telling where you're gonna head.
And it was more like the fact, like you just said, you know what I mean? We all go through our circumstances that change us, that give us that understanding about growth. And you know what I mean? Because all of us want success.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And like, my vision of success isn't the same as others.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? My vision, I've been around niggas, you know what I mean? I'm from the flats too, baby. You know what I mean? So I've been around the niggas, I've been around the cut, you know what I mean? I have my set of people, and like, some of their ideas were just on looking better than the next.
Exactly.
Or having more money than the next. And like, and maybe if I had a little bit more money, maybe I could compete with them. You know? Maybe I'd be like, you know what, nigga, because it's broke. You know what I mean? But I didn't have enough money like that. You know what I mean? So, but it wasn't. I've noticed, even though I didn't have enough money like that, I got the same amount of like love. You know what I mean? No matter what I've done, just being me.
And why do you think that is?
I think because I'm more in tune with me. You know what I mean? I'm more. I think the reason why that happened, like where I would be in a circle with all money niggas, and it would still be like the love would still be there for me, is because I didn't give a fuck. I didn't give a fuck about what this motherfucking thought about me. I just was me. If I'm rocking the same clothes I'm rocking for 3 days, that's me. I don't need to impress nobody.
Yes.
So like if you're gonna say like the bitches, when the bitches come up and they look, they're like, oh, this nigga's him. He's not. He don't have money. Like I ain't gonna tell you I don't have money. I might front a little bit too. You know what I mean? I might be like, hey, you know, a nigga got a little money. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I'm with these niggas, right? Those are the right. But it's more this perspective. Like even though like I'm. The way I think is different too.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I want a different future. And once I had a kid, I was already going like this. And then once I had the kid, I just went like I just started fucking doing other things. I was still kind of like, you know, in the hood a little bit, mingling. You know what I mean? Because the devil's a hard worker. You know what I mean? So there'd be moments where I'm there and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to the strip tonight. You know what I mean? With my niggas. You know what I mean? And that's the problem. So it was more about like, but the thing is, as I kept mingling with the demons, I started realizing like I could see it. So I'm watching this like this.
Yes.
I'm 4K.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 8K now because
sure.
the vision is getting better.
Yeah.
So 8K, you know what I mean? And I'm high, so like everything's just like my mind's going crazy, and I'm like, yo, nigga, we really just in a cycle. Like my friends got here. They got to making $100,000 a fucking a year, not even a year, a fucking month, because they're fucking drug dealers, and now they don't know what else to do. They hit the pinnacle of their high. You know what I mean? And I'm watching these niggas, I'm asking, hey, we should invest into a studio. That's your dream, nigga. Shut the fuck up. That's your dream. No one wants to be part of your dream. I had niggas that looked at me in the face that had nothing else better to do and tell me that that's only my dream.
Yeah.
My nigga, I have a boat. I'm Noah. Get on the fucking boat.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Real talk.
I had to do this all myself.
Real talk.
With Cat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we done it from the ground up. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, and then this is me rambling too now.
No,
you know what I mean? But this is how it is.
For
Conversation
sure.
just strikes whatever we feel. I have these talking points, right? And
Yep.
they're just meant for us to, just in case we have a slow, like,
That's it.
You know what I mean? But other than that, I like this conversation because usually it's a comedy podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So usually when niggas come and watch this, they're laughing or enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I like Joe Rogan type of podcast too, where
Exactly.
it's deep, where it's like where you can talk to someone and get some real thought process. Because I be wanting to rant too, nigga. I be wanting to tell niggas like, yo, shape up or I'm leaving you on the dust. You know what I mean? But the thing is, I have a certain, like, I see certain niggas, right? And I have, and I don't have the circle yet where we can build yet. You know what I mean? Because I'm still, because I only have me and Kat.
Right.
And just to get us here was hard. Because you're dealing with a spouse. You're dealing with somebody else's emotions raised from a different side.
Right.
And it's like, and she had different values at one point, and
Right.
and you know what I mean? It's just about just like coming together and figuring it out.
Mm-hmm.
And before I can do that, I had to change myself.
Yes.
I couldn't even come to her with the way I was a couple years ago because I would look like I'm just a fool. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I had to change everything that I thought about and the way I looked at things. And when I found out about subconscious thinking, it was a wrap.
Wow.
Once I found out about, damn, nigga, I'm fucked up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, damn, nigga, I started putting myself and my own thoughts through therapy.
Yes.
So now, instead of reacting and trying to fight and trying to be fucking mad, because fighting, all it did for me was just put me in a situation where fucking I had more attention. So like you said, I wanted to be cool, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
Like I already had the elements to be cool, I
Yes.
guess you could say. You know what
For
I mean?
sure.
But it's like, but I wanted to fight because that's what we do. When niggas is disrespecting, we pulling up to the block with 20 niggas, and like that shit is buffoonery. You know what I mean? That shit is buffoonery. As animals, primal. We're too primal with that mindset. And that's the same thing with fucking bitches, wanting to go fuck bitches all the time, wanting to go fight niggas, wanting to go to the club, wanting to get drunk, get fucked up, do drugs. That's all primal instincts of just niggas trying to give you easy way out.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So like, nigga, I realized that I need to step back. But I also realized that isolation isn't the same thing as independence. So even though I'm by myself, you know what I mean? I still need people because I can't grow any more than this.
For sure.
So I started a podcast because I wanted to meet the people. I wanted to see who the fuck who's out here, who want to talk, who want to have a conversation. Some niggas are scared to talk because they think I want to talk about bullshit all the time. But it's like, it depends who you are.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I before you came, I studied you. I studied you when I had you as a friend. Because I'm like, it might be a potential person that might ever come up. And when you offered, I was like, haha, yes, I got him. We here.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Because I like this. I want to have a different level of different people.
Yes.
And people don't understand that if you just want to come on and just let me choose the topping points, you know, in the sense of like, you don't have no other value except for coming on.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Best believe I'm gonna ask some crazy shit.
Of course.
Just to build up what you could say, the hype. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Some people will watch this podcast and be like, damn, my nigga, I needed that. You know what I'm saying? And then some people are gonna watch this podcast and be like, this bitch ass nigga think he knows it all. This bitch ass nigga think he bet. You know? Because at the end of the day, they're gonna have their lens. One of the things that I want to talk to you about that I think is super interesting, bro, is that once I realized this shit was like an epiphany. Fighting in the streets is the poorest form of communication. Because what I'm telling you, right, is that you made me feel some type of way. I'm going to show you that you made me feel some type of way. And then I'm going to expect my peers to glorify my way of communicating at that moment.
Right.
Once bro, because I used to like to fight. For me, the rush of knocking somebody out is one of the craziest highs ever.
Yeah.
Once you realize that fighting is a poor way of communicating, you realize how poor of a communicator you actually are.
Yeah.
Because, okay, what's the message? This is how I see it. You do me wrong, right? You say something about me, you disrespect me, whatever the case may be. As much as I want to fight you, because emotionally that's what I feel, by me deading you from my world and knowing that you have to live with yourself.
Well, if you're seeing this, that means you got to this part of the video where our equipment kind of fucked this shit up. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. But my system overloaded and it fucked up the file. I blame Kat for this. Kat just comes around with her bad energy.
Yeah, listen.
Listen, no, you listen first. Kat comes around with her bad energy, coming out with her pheromones. I don't know if she was on a period that day. I don't know what was going on. But she just be coming over here with her mood swings and it just bringing in bad energy. And her bad energy was the reason why it ended. It wasn't the computer's fault. We can't blame my equipment. Just because I'm broke and my equipment is bootleg, you can't be blaming my equipment.
That's your fault.
Why is it my fault?
You need to upgrade.
What do you mean I gotta upgrade?
You need to upgrade. It's no one's fault that your computer decides to go black and stop recording.
See, I don't know why I even let you talk on this. I just wanted you to record. Okay, that's all I want you to do.
Yeah, and that's it. That was being done.
Yeah.
And then your computer wants to fuck up, right?
It's not my computer's fault, cause it's your fucking fault.
Nah, I don't know, bro. You know, lately you've been fucking up.
What you mean?
Are you gonna blame all those times on me too?
What other times?
You know what other times. Don't play yourself.
Tell me about these other times. If you're gonna talk about them, you gotta name them.
You know.
You can't just bring up some false shit.
You fucked up on loonies.
What?
You stepped over.
Oh my God, you said that on the thing?
Yeah, you went. You stepped over the cord and boom.
Yo, bro.
Lost audio.
That's not my...
Whose fault is that? Because I didn't step over the cord.
That's my fault.
Right. Right. And what happened the other times that you lost audio? Whose fault was that? Your cheap ass computer. That's your fault, bro. You need to upgrade. I'm telling you. Get your shit right. Get your money right.
Whatever, guys. I don't want to talk about this anymore. I just want y'all to know, if you guys want to continue watching the episode is you're gonna hear it. You know what I mean? You're gonna hear it, and it's gonna sound like crap, but it's still some real shit that he's talking about that I think you should listen to. But once again, I'm sorry, and I apologize.
He ain't sorry. He did it more than once.
No.
You ain't sorry if you did it more than once.
All right, guys.
You can't be.
Bye.
That's the biggest fucking slap in the face you can get somebody.
Right? That's a win.
You already won.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm no longer willing to dance with somebody that's not even on my level.
Right.
And I'll go to certain places, certain restaurants. You feel the energy, you feel the vibe and stuff like that. Yeah. And I want to go up to them and be like, can you just work on your self-esteem? Because your lack of self-esteem is what has you looking at me like a threat.
It's leaking.
That's what has you looking at me like a threat. And to be honest with you, you look very ridiculous being threatened by another man.
Yeah, facts.
You look very ridiculous. Like, I personally feel like when a man or woman is threatened by another man or woman, you actually look childish. Because what you're saying, what you're demonstrating is that you don't feel like you're enough.
Right.
Because no matter what the fuck anybody got going on, why should I feel threatened by somebody else? You know how many dudes had to tell their wife or their girl, whatever, that they can't be on my social media? Yeah. How many dudes have hit me up? Bro, I used to, my thing, like, you know, growing up, fucking bitches, like, that was, like, the thing, right? I thought that the more girls you fuck, the more respect, blah, 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 blah.
It's part of the picture, a little accurate.
Yes, I ended up having an addiction when it came to that, whatever. Even though I had that addiction, I had rules. I've always had rules as a man, and I think that's what helped me. And I've always told myself, I will never fuck a nigga's girl that I know for sure is like, because a lot of girls will lie. A lot of girls will be like, yo, just to get with you, they'll be like, nah, I'm single, whatever. And the next thing you know, their man is inboxing or whatever the case may be. I will never fuck a nigga's girl that I know like really has a partner, and I will never do what I don't want done to me.
Right.
Like me and my friend were friends for 15 years. My old best friend, even though he's my best friend, my brother for life and spirit, but me and him were together for 15 years, friends for 15 years, right? And we've never smashed the same girl. Because I told him this: if you're even interested in a girl, she died to me.
Yeah.
I grew up in an environment where you fuck somebody else's girl, my nigga, you could probably risk losing your life.
Facts.
I grew up in an environment where if you owe people money, you're risking losing your life. So for me, my word as a man, I want to put a lot of emphasis on the word as a man.
Mm-hmm.
But my word as a man, my integrity, that shit is everything to me.
Yeah.
So when people say whatever they say about me, I'm like, if you were to understand how solid I actually am, you would want me on your team.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that your vibration is not even on my level.
Right.
That's why you see me as a threat.
Mm.
And I really, Nick, for me, I told you that I was going to be here today, right?
Yeah.
I gave you my word.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't live with myself knowing that I told you I was going to be here and me not show up.
Right.
As a man, I'm not 100%, but I'm at 99.9. When I say that I'm going to do something, unless I die or I'm in the hospital, you could count on that shit. So when people ask me, how did you become who you became? How did you get to the level that you're at? When you take yourself serious as a person and you actually do what you say you're going to do, you do what you say you're going to do.
Right.
Most people say they're going to do something and they don't follow through.
The two types of people in this world. The people that do something about it and the people that talk about it.
For sure. Something as simple as, yo, listen, I'm going to call you tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
right? Some people will call you tomorrow and they'll be okay with that. I'm not okay with that. So like when I know that you don't have word as a person, that's the fastest way for you to lose my time.
Right.
Because I know that you don't take yourself serious.
Right. That's facts.
When you think about the greats, my nigga, when you think about the greats really take themselves serious. That's why they get serious results.
Mm.
And you know what's another thing that I learned? And this is something that was mad interesting. A weak nigga needs mad bitches.
Okay.
A silent nigga needs one. So for me, I look at this ring on my finger
Mhm.
and I told my wife, I've been reprogramming myself for you. I didn't want to just be your husband. I wanted to act like your husband.
Yeah.
Niggas want the title, niggas want the ring, but they don't want the role and the responsibility that comes with it.
Right.
So I wanted to make sure that I reprogrammed my whack limiting beliefs around marriage. I reprogrammed my fucking whack temptations around women. Because, bro, as a man, I don't give a fuck who you are, how rude you are. The temptation to fuck another woman will always be there for the majority.
Yeah.
Whoever says no, they lying, nigga.
Yeah.
They lying. For me is, how can I control that beast? Because I know emotionally, that beast is still there. And I'm like, what am I willing to lose
Right.
for this whack ass beast?
Mm-hmm.
And that has allowed me, bro, like real talk. And when I tell you, bro, like this shit is mad deep, nigga, this shit is mad deep because I never thought that I'll get to the point where I can decline another pussy.
Right.
I never thought I would. Because I'm like, damn, like the rush that you get from smashing something is indescribable.
Right.
When I can have somebody come into my inbox and come into my IG and I can say, yo, I'm happy, get the fuck out my inbox, that shit is a bigger win than any girl that I can smash.
Ooh.
And I can't tell you I would never not fuck up.
Yeah.
Because I will be lying to you. I will be a fucking fake ass nigga by telling you that.
Yeah.
My goal is to be this this in tune with myself that I don't even put myself in that predicament, bro.
Right.
Because you're like
Because you be searching for that energy. If you're searching for that energy, it's gonna come to you.
Yeah,
if it
bro.
doesn't, it's gonna slowly start depleting
Bro.
itself.
this is me being like 100, bro. Like, even though I know that it is what it is, like I can't do nothing about spoiled milk and shit like that. But when I think to myself, damn, the feeling that I have with my family right now, me talking to you as a man, the feeling that I have with my family right now, this shit feels so incredible, bro. For your wife to be happy, your kids to be happy, your home to feel like a home. I can't believe that it took me so long to grow up to actually have this. I was living a double life all of my life. So when people call me a hypocrite, I say you're absolutely right. When people call me fake, I say you're absolutely right. Because although my intention was to be the best I can, my action wasn't consistent with my intentions.
Right.
That's why, like, nobody can give me the mirror the way I give myself the mirror.
Tell them.
So anything that you're telling me or you're telling me behind, or you're saying behind my back, there's nothing that you can possibly say that I'm not already aware of.
Right.
But what I am also aware of is how much I want to and am willing to change those whack-ass behaviors.
Mm-hmm.
When you're laying down next to your partner and you know that you're doing right by your partner, that shit, my nigga, feels incredible. And that's a battle that we all struggle with, bro.
Yeah.
And I told myself, damn, this whole time that I was entertaining these women, this whole time that I was entertaining these women, I could have figured out why my relationship doesn't feel whole. This whole time that I'm trying to please these women, I could have been building my woman up.
Right.
This whole time that I'm doing this, I could have been doing this. That even though this temporary situation felt good, but this right here, long term, feels better.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm saying, like my level of understanding and awareness has expanded because even talking to you like this, I would have never imagined.
Right.
I would have never imagined.
Right.
Like real talk, I would have never imagined, bro.
I'm 100% with
And it's
you.
like I tell people, and I'm like, yo, if you know that I struggle with certain things, if you love me, help me.
Right.
Don't add fuel to that fire. Don't criticize me. Don't judge me. I know that I had a problem.
Yeah.
I admit that I had a problem. Help me with that. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
People that are willing to help me, I know how much they actually love me because I got niggas right now that are gonna hold me accountable. Like, yo, like, what's been going on? I want to share this real quick.
Go ahead,
I'm going
go
on
ahead.
a tangent, but this shit is fucking mad deep.
I'm
and
with you.
I
Hey,
think
it's a whole lot of real. You see that?
Yo,
I mean, you speak.
I love this. You're bringing the best out of me. Like, real talk.
That's what I want.
Like the way you think, the way you receive, the way you listen, and you're bringing the best out of me. That's why I'm willing to share my heart.
Hell yeah.
On October 5th, I saw one of my best friends, right? And me and him were having a deep conversation, and I'm like, what's something that you're struggling with right now? And he was like, masturbation. And I'm like, me too. The way I was trying to compromise me not cheating was just jerking off. I'm like, if I could jerk off to whatever I see,
It kills the function.
like, you know what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize how emotionally dependent I became of jerking off and watching porn. So without me even thinking about it, once I'm in the shower, I'm jerking off.
Right.
Like, bottom line, I got my phone with me, I'm jerking off, that's almost like my fix. It became to the point where multiple times a day, where I started to think about it. So me and him decided to do a fast. We decided to do a challenge. Yo, let's not jerk off for 30 days. Let's until November 5th, we can't jerk off.
Yeah.
And me
No
and
nut.
him,
No nut.
no nut.
November. No.
No, but smash, yeah. You can smash
No
your
hand nuts. No hand nuts. No hand nuts.
So I wish I wasn't live so that I can share with you what I told him. I'm like, I didn't realize how much jerking off and watching porn was affecting my thought process and my emotions. I didn't realize it. Like, I thought that, you feel good at that moment, but all my mood swings and everything that I was experiencing stemmed from my addiction to porn and masturbation.
Yeah.
And even if I was smashing, I was still jerking off. And I'm like, I feel so clear, so focused, and so ready to take my life to the next level because of this fast that I'm doing with my boy.
So you're able to create that off of just the energy you're feeling that day, just talking to him, and now you're able to find something else that was affecting you that you were able to clean up.
Exactly. So it's like now, and this is me just being 100.
Yeah.
The sex with me and my lady is on another level.
Right. Because all you're holding it all in now.
Like the desire for her is on another level because that desire is not being compromised by other things.
Oh, that makes sense.
You follow me?
That makes sense.
So it's like if I'm smashing X, Y, Z,
Yeah.
my lady is probably gonna get the whack dick. But if I'm not smashing, if I'm not watching porn, as men, my nigga, we like to hunt. So if we take that hunting mentality and we give it to our lady, we're gonna maximize that experience with our lady.
Facts.
Because now that energy is not being taken away from all these other areas.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, of course.
So I was having sex, and my sex life was very compromised because of what I was doing outside of my relationship with porn and all this bullshit. And now that I'm devoted to my woman, like the drive for each other is like I can't wait to get with her right now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, bro, like this awareness again is fucking dope as hell.
Yeah.
Like last night we just had an experience and a half, and it's because my mind is not entertaining and seeking and rushing. My mind is now invested in her.
Right.
And that shit feels dope. Like me as a man, that shit feels dope, bro.
Especially when like the lady's working with you. You know what I mean? She's doing whatever she can to help you follow yourself, to back you up. You know what I mean? Sometimes, like I tell niggas now, right? It took me 10 years to like, and I'm still growing, because I'm not gonna sit, I'm still jerking off too. I gotta
For sure. Yo, but most of us do.
Yeah. Because that's what we're taught, bro.
Yes.
We're taught. I was leaving cum stains on my fucking grandma's cortinas because I had a problem. And my dad didn't do nothing, didn't even speak to me. He just said keep fucking them bitches, alright, nigga? Keep fucking.
Yo.
I need tissues, nigga.
Yo, nigga, back in the day, so what? There would be like a porn channel.
Mm-hmm.
It was channel 76.
I think I know what I'm talking about.
But it would come in all fucked up.
Yeah.
So I remember, bro, like I was jerking off to fucking trying to catch the titty and jerking off. And I remember getting called by my mom one time, bro, and that was the most embarrassing shit on the
But
fucking...
you got caught with your hand in your dick though? Like,
Bro, my dick in a sock.
Oh my
I was in the
God.
process of coming.
You was a little more advanced. You was advanced.
I'm like, I can't keep making a mess, nigga. All my socks are crunchy.
Yeah. God damn. I feel you. Yo.
No, but yeah, so yeah, it's yo, bro, like that shit. You know that porn
Yeah.
is the root. This is, and I'm not gonna say this as a fact, but this is basically what I've been studying. The common foundation behind serial killers is pornography.
What do you mean?
Most people, like, cause I like to watch interviews on all ends of the spectrum, right?
Mm-hmm.
I watch interviews on a lot of serial killers just because I just like to see the way they think.
Yeah.
And all the serial killers that I follow, when they're asked, how do you feel like you got to that point? And they're like, pornography. What happens is this. You jerk off innocently to something light, right? Something that you enjoy.
Yeah.
It goes from jerking off to women that you're attracted to jerking off to fetishes. But now, this is what you're not realizing. This is from a scientific perspective.
Mm-hmm.
The more dopamine you're releasing during that masturbation, the more you're gonna require to release that dopamine.
You're gonna need more. You're gonna need more.
You're gonna need more.
You're
So it goes
okay.
from like watching head to watching regular sex to watching threesomes to watching foursomes to watching some wild shit.
Yeah.
So it gets to the point where what you're consuming is not releasing that dopamine. So now you practice whatever in physical life. So now, as you're still watching all this porn stuff and you're practicing in the physical world,
Yeah.
it's like the intensity is amplifying. So people get to the point. Like I was watching this particular guy. I forgot his name, but he was saying the only thing that would give me a rush, like I used to get when I would jerk off, is by killing somebody. And then he went from killing somebody in the easiest way possible to killing somebody in the most complicated possible.
Right.
So the behavior, all it was he was seeking a dopamine release. This may sound crazy to the average man, like this nigga, shut the now you're out of context. But this is the type of shit that I've been studying.
It's a fix, though. It's a fix.
It's like I need that. So I give you an example to put it into perspective, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many people don't start off with one perk?
Mm.
First of all, how many people don't start off with bud and alcohol?
Right.
And then that bud and alcohol, all of a sudden, they're dealing with problems. The bud is not really doing much for them. They just became immune to it. The alcohol is not doing much to them. All of a sudden, it's like, boom, let me take this perk.
Mm.
It goes from 1 perk a day to 2 perks a day. Now you got people taking 5 perks a day. Perks become expensive. Now it's like, I need a bag.
Mm. Tell them.
And then, boom, you get that bag, and all of a sudden, it's like, then now I need 2 bags. And instead of that 2 bags, eventually I need a half a bundle. Then I need a whole bundle. And then why you think people are overdosing when the root of that overdose was because they didn't have a coping mechanism to deal with their emotions.
Facts.
So with that desire and that dopamine release that's needed, the intake requires more and more and more. It just makes sense in that world. So when all these people say, yo, like what was the cause? Pornography was the root of my problems. I can see why, because even me that I'm a regular logical thinking nigga, I would notice my intensity in my masturbation. I would notice what I started to watch was a lot different than when I used to watch it before. And it's because I needed more to release those chemicals to make me feel good.
Yeah. What was the craziest thing you watched?
The craziest thing I watched...
Like right now, I'm really into like riding, like girls riding. Like,
Yeah.
I just like the butts flapping and shit.
Yeah.
It just gives me like a certain rush. Like I tried to watch trans porn and it didn't work. It was just like, no, there's too much dicks here.
Yeah. So personally, I think the craziest thing that I watched was probably...
Like reverse cowgirl.
You see, for me, that type of stuff is basic.
See, that's what
know
I'm
what I mean?
like.
That type of stuff is basic.
Talk your
Stuff
shit,
like that,
nigga. Talk your shit.
I would love my thing. Like, the extreme for me was when a guy has multiple women on him,
Mm-hmm.
just devouring him.
Oh, okay.
Like on his dick.
So
on
you
his,
want the fantasy.
on his dick, on his balls, on
Yeah.
his neck. Him having a girl on, like, wow, that nigga's getting treated like a king right there.
You want royalty.
And I'm like,
royalty.
oh
Bring
shit.
in the women.
And I'm like, oh shit. But when I knew that it was a problem was when I started to see myself in his position. I'm like, damn, imagine getting. You know, it just happened that dialogue, and I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
Nah. And I told this to my wife yesterday. I told her, you know what my goal is? My goal is not to be perfect for you. My goal is to eliminate any habit that can stop me from being the best man for you.
Bars.
Because it's the habit that you do that can compromise the relationship.
Right.
So if I can minimize the amount of habits, right? Like jerking off and going, that's why I don't even go clubbing. It's like you want to stop smoking bud, but you're gonna go to a blunt fest trying not to smoke.
Right.
That doesn't make sense. You're trying to stop alcohol, but you're gonna go to a keg party trying not to drink. The very first thing is not put yourself in that environment.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's like me telling her that, and I share this with her so that she knows if I was to ever mess up, it's not because of a lack of effort. It's just my emotion at that moment got the best of me.
Yeah.
That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. But my goal is to be so disciplined in my behaviors that my emotions doesn't get the best of me as much as possible.
Right,
Does that make
because
sense?
what you're doing is you're unteaching yourself too.
Exactly.
That's what we're raised on. We're raised on fucking on the hunt.
Exactly.
On the hunt. Hold on, give me a second. How much time we got?
117.
All right, I want to get into the street because we got like an hour 30 before.
Okay, beautiful. Let's go.
Because phones warm up.
Yeah.
When we get cameras, we'll do a 3-hour sessions. You know what I mean?
This shit is fire though, bro. Like, you guys enjoying the conversation?
Hell yeah, dude.
Definitely.
Nah, but bro, I like it because, like I said, these are things I talk about with Kat alone.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because I try to build us.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I'm far from perfect. I'm a piece of shit. You know what I mean? I'm naturally a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And like that's what was given to me. Like my ancestors before me were great piece of shits, and they were like, you know, what I mean? This went from piece of shit generation to another piece of shit generation.
Right.
I'm making piece of shits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the point is like shit like this really, like you said, there's gonna be someone who's gonna listen to this and is gonna be like, wow, I got a lot out of this. You know what I mean? Not just this. One thing I wanted to touch on is the streets.
Yeah.
The streets is where a lot of us came from.
Yeah.
And we're seeing a high increase in overdoses with Percocets, a high increase in just like people just being retarded, you know, shooting, killing. There's a lot of things going on in the street that is becoming bad.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Worse than ever.
Yeah, it's worse than ever. Like even for the drug dealers to sell bundles are like $25. Nigga. Remember when they were $80?
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right.
But the perspective I'm trying to bring is it's fucked up, man. And I feel like we're in an environment nowadays that people glorify the streets. They love the streets. They love the way, love the hustle, love the grind. You know what I mean? Money making mid scopes. You know what I mean? And it's like, and it's being amplified more. But now in the sense of being gangsters to being drug users.
Yes.
And it's like a lot of people are following in the footsteps of either iconic rappers or icons that are on the TV that use these things or people around them. Yeah. It was easy for me as fuck as a kid to get a perk. You know what I mean? In my hand. Or a dust blunt. Let's be real. A dust blunt would just fall into my hand like, oh, weed? Cool. Oh. And then you start fucking moonwalking, you know what I mean? Yeah. So like, I want to give people a kind of like a conversation where we bash this shit, like fuck this shit, man. Fuck the streets. Worry about what the fuck you worrying about, and stop interacting with it. It's done. If you're making money, get out. Yeah. Staying in the streets is not helping nobody. If anything, it's devaluing you because the more the prices go down, the more you gotta risk your fucking life to be something. You know what I mean? And like. It's like, man, there's so many things I want to touch on, but I want to touch on in a different case.
Yeah,
different scenario.
Absolutely.
But for the time being, how has the streets affected you in the sense of like watching your people die and seeing that? Like and what would you tell them now? Like what would you tell the people out here now that are entering the streets? You know what I'm saying?
So it's really figuring out the reason on why you're doing what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was caught up in that lifestyle the majority of my life. Mm-hmm. But I understood my end goal, and I understood that although I'm making the sacrifices that I'm making this is not a forever thing for me.
Facts.
So it's really like understanding that what you're doing has a price, and are you willing to pay that price? That's from that perspective. From the violence perspective is, what is it that you're afraid of? Right? Like right now you want a consequence as individual because you feel like violence is the only way for this person to learn a lesson. What are you afraid of? Because at the end of the day, what it boils down to is, if you do me dirty and I don't do something to you, what I'm really afraid of is what she's gonna say.
Right.
It's not necessarily about what I feel about that situation, it's about what she's gonna say. So it's like what I really think needs to happen is that we have to change the narrative of what a real nigga really is.
Right.
Because a real nigga, if you let's say we have a bunch of hood niggas here, right? A real nigga in their eyes is a nigga that's willing to go pop somebody, a nigga that don't take no shit from somebody, a nigga that can fuck mad bitches, and a nigga that gets money no matter what.
And that's what once you put that real nigga stamp, that's what everybody analyzes.
For sure. Yeah. So it's like, okay, boom. So that's your perception of a real nigga. Now let's just look at that from a different angle, right? How about rather than you worrying about who's disrespecting you, how about you just respect yourself more? Boom, that takes that out of the way. Rather than you thinking that this is the only way for you to make money, how about you understand what's your gift on this earth so that you can monetize your passion so that you don't have a monkey on your back?
Tell him.
You follow me?
Yes, sir.
When it comes to fucking bitches, a weak man needs multiple bitches. A solid man needs one. So rather than going out there and trying to satisfy multiple bitches so that you can feel whole as a man, how about you find that one that's deserving of your time and love her in multiple ways? You follow me?
Hell yeah.
And it's just being able to change that narrative. But the problem is that when you're fixated on this, and then the people who are getting the most attention are the people that are practicing those behaviors, it's hard for you to say, you know what, I'm gonna go on into this world when this world looks a lot cooler. The world may look a lot cooler, but there's not enough depth and substance in that world.
Right.
Over here, it may not seem so cool initially, but the long haul of it is more fulfilling. And ultimately, bro, what are we after? We're after love, and we're after happiness, and we're after a purpose. You're filling a void by living this lifestyle.
Right.
And I can say that from experience. I was filling a void. Damn, like every time I would fuck a girl, I would feel good at that moment, but then I would feel empty when I was in my house. Every time I would make my money, I would feel good at that moment, but I didn't have a sense of purpose. So it's just being able to just change that narrative and be okay with being open-minded and say, you know what? If I can plant any seed to anybody listening to this, let's just become curious. Let's at least give ourselves the opportunity to realize that there's more out there.
Right.
Because if you could become curious, you could start to open up your mind to possibility. A lot of times we don't open up our mind to possibilities because we're like, fuck, this is what it is. Nigga, I'm a real nigga.
Right.
I'm a real nigga. You fuck with me, I will pop you. I get all the bad bitches. I'm that nigga. You're operating off of ego. So when you operate off of ego, you're always going to feed your emotions.
Right.
The more you feed your emotions, the less discipline you're going to have with your mental.
They're to change their ways because they're indoctrinated. They're stuck on those fucking habits that you just said. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Of what we think is a real nigga. And it's like, and they just took the time just to, like you said, open their mind, be curious, take the time to learn. You will see that this shit is just, they want us to be here. And what I mean by they, you know what I mean.
For sure.
I mean they. They want us to be here. I'm not gonna. I don't know if it's the same day that Kanye's talking about, but it's day. It's someday. Someone's there, and they plying. They putting the strings and shit. You know what I mean? Making us act like this, and we gotta understand. We gotta wake the fuck up. That's why Jeremy's here today. Jeremy's here today though. Levántate, tipo. Está durmiendo, carajo.
A lot of times when people listen to me speak, they think that I have it all figured out.
Yeah.
All I am, for real, is just an obsessed student to life.
Right.
All I want to do is just continue to get better, teach whatever is working for me, but it's never to put myself above another human being. Because at the end of the day, I feel like I'm not good at being a mechanic, right? You put me under a hood, I may be very ignorant to that hood. But you could be a beast at being a mechanic. I'm not good at putting a rhyme together, but you could be good at putting a rhyme together. So I think that in my world, which is like personal development, I have a little edge because I'm just infatuated with this process and I'm just invested in this process. But I want people to just really figure out what's that thing for them.
Right.
Don't see what I'm saying and he has it all figured out. No, figure out what's that thing for you, because there's something that comes easier to you that's harder to other people. Find that, become obsessed with that, and execute it to the point that you literally are able to monetize that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Give them what they want, Jeremy.
That's it, bro.
Hey, brother, I appreciate you for coming.
I appreciate you, man.
It's been a fucking hell of an experience.
For sure.
You know what I mean? We got to teach the people how to react to emotions. We got to show them a little side of you. You know what I mean?
For
Give them more of the story.
That's
so
it.
So they understand. It's like, niggas change because they see that there's a world out there that has been polluted by a mentality that is not us, bro. We need to change the way we look at things and be more open to things. This podcast today was sponsored by Doobie Doo. So if you already know, if you're smoking the fire shit and the whole look, you already know where it's coming from. This podcast is also sponsored by Holat Rodriguez Campo, a great karate instructor. If you guys want to get some ass whoopings, you already know where to go. And who's the last? What's Depp's thing? Fresh and Clean Cuts. You know what I'm saying? Where you go over there and they'll cut your lawn like they cut my hair. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying they barbers, but they cut that shit pretty nice. You know what I'm saying?
This is my book, A Better You. Literally, all this is my heart in between these 2 pages. I spoke this in a language where when I was broken, depressed, anxious, suicidal. So the language for this book is very simple. You're gonna understand limiting beliefs, how to reprogram your subconscious mind, how the mind works from a scientific perspective, and it's a simple read. As you can see, it's not that long. It's more of a reference guide. My social media is Inspiredbyunity, IG, Facebook, YouTube. I'm going to be developing my YouTube channel. I'm actually going to be developing my YouTube channel. I'm actually in the process of doing a podcast myself. Okay. Only because I want to be able to utilize my platform to give other people a platform.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
You understand what I'm saying? We definitely can, because I believe that you'll be able to help me with that or whatever. But listen, stay up, stay focused. And when life tries to bring you down, just know that you already have everything it takes to overcome everything that you're going through right now.
Facts.
Make life your best life, because at the end of the day, it's only your life.
There we go, guys. Hey, you already know what it is. Holat Jonez. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to like. Make sure to do what the fuck you do. If you don't like it, get the fuck out my face. Our opinions are our opinions are of our own. Exactly. You know what I mean? The way we look at things is because we went through it to look at it like that. If you don't like the way it look, stop watching. Peace.